Hi everyone. Thank you for joining Parkinson Voice Project for today's online Speak Out home practice session. My name is Samantha Allenderry. I'm a speech language pathologist and the founder of Parkinson Voice Project. I'm here to help you establish and maintain a consistent Speak Out home practice routine. Today we're going to go through the exercises. I also had 3 questions come in, and one of them is specifically about swallowing, so I thought I would show you some swallowing videos today. So I want to have time to do that. Also, thank you to everybody who attended our Learn About Parkinson's webinar yesterday. I hope that you found it helpful, and if you did not attend or your family and close friends have not attended, we always host it the second Tuesday of every month. It's that important that everyone attend. So we conduct that every second Tuesday. Okay? All right, let's go ahead and take a sip of water. And today in the United States, it is Flag Day. So that is our topic for today. But let's get our water and then we'll get started. I will answer the questions at the end of this session, just in case we go over a little bit over 20 minutes. Again, I'll show some swallowing videos today. All right, first speak out exercise, the warm up. I want you to lift your voice and speak out. Ready? May, me, my, mo, moo. Again. May, me, my, mo, moo. Again. May, me, my, mo, moo. High energy, exaggerate. Let's do it again. May, me, my, mo, moo. And one last time for today. May, me, my, mo, moo. We're always reaching for the end. We do not want to trail off. If you attended the webinar, then you learned that not trailing off or taking the appropriate amount of breath is actually an automatic function. So without enough dopamine, a lot of people with Parkinson's are trailing off at the end of their sentences. Take your water, but as we go through these exercises, reach for the end, okay? Be mindful of keeping it strong all the way to the end. The second speak out exercise is the ah. Here we go, with intent. Ah. Good job. Keep the sound consistent all the way through. Ready? Good. Let's do it again. Let's go ahead and do a shorter one. Really think about it. Be deliberate. And one more. Good. Let's take a sip of water. Think about it with intent. I will answer some questions at the end of this session. Okay, I had 3 questions come in. I will answer them at the end. The next speak out exercise, the glide. Project an ah forward and slowly glide up. It's important that you try to get as many of those little notes in there. You don't want to jump from this note to that one. If you're missing these notes, when you do the glide, you might be missing those notes in conversation. You don't want a monotone voice. You want a colorful voice, and this exercise targets that. Let's do it together. Again. Good. All right. Ready? Good. Let's do it again. We're working hard. One more. Let's do one more. You can do it. Ready? That one was hard. Okay, let's take a sip of water. Moving on to speak out exercise number 4, the counting. We're actually just going to count to 12 today because I want to answer these questions that came in. So we're going to count to 12. We're going to stretch and say 3 numbers, and then we'll stop. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Reach for the end. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We're being very deliberate. Every number with intent. Let's do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. One more time. Let's go backwards. Start with 12. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Let's take a sip of water. We are moving on to our reading exercise, which builds strength and endurance. You're also working your articulators, and these are the muscles that you use not only to articulate with, but to chew your food and to swallow. So let's use a lot of intent when we do this and stretch out the highlighted words. Here we go. June 14th is Flag Day in the United States. We're exaggerating the highlighted words. Read it again. June 14th is Flag Day in the United States. Next. There have been 27 different U.S. flags. Again. There have been 27 different U.S. flags. Next. The stripes represent the original 13 colonies. Again. The stripes represent the original 13 colonies. Are you speaking out? Use lots of intent. Ready? The stars represent the 50 states. Again, the stars represent the 50 states. Next, the first American flag had 13 stars. Again, the first American flag had 13 stars. Last one. The current American flag has been flown since 1960. Are you reading every word with intent? Is every word flying in front of you? Let's read it again. The current American flag has been flown since 1960. Good. Let's take a sip of water. When we do these exercises, we want to activate the speech and swallowing muscles, so we need to use a lot of intent. I want you to name some items from these categories. Oh, well, all right. I want you to name, actually, the 13 colonies. Can you name the 13 colonies? Go ahead, just try to think of them. Let's read them with intent. Throw them across the room. Ready? Delaware, Pennsylvania, Massachusetts, New Jersey, Georgia, Connecticut, Maryland, South Carolina, New Hampshire, Virginia, New York, North Carolina, Rhode Island. When you said Rhode Island, did you make sure not to trail off? Let's say it together. Rhode Island. And let's start with New Hampshire and then keep it strong all the way through. Ready? New Hampshire, Virginia, New York, North Carolina, Rhode Island. Always reaching towards the end. So some common places where the American flag is flown. And if you're joining us from another country, name places where your country's flag is commonly flown. In the U.S., these are some places where you would see the flag. Let's read them together. Ready? Post office, schools, state capitals, military bases, the White House. We have a flag in our parking lot at Parkinson Voice Project. All right, some ways to show respect for the flag. Go ahead and name them. Concentrate, say each one with intent. Let's see if we came up with the same ones. Let's read these together. Displaying correctly, folding correctly, hats off during the national anthem. Do not let the flag touch the ground. Flags flown at night should be illuminated. All right. Take a sip of water. Because I'm going to be answering these clinical questions, we're going to go ahead and do the bonus reading. Then we'll do Dr. Boone's words, and then I will stay on a little bit longer today to answer the questions. But let's get some water. Okay. A great way to practice speaking with intent is to take a song that you know very well and force yourself to read the lyrics instead of singing. So no singing allowed right now. All right, here we go. You're a grand old flag. You're a high-flying flag. And forever in peace may you wave. Stretch out those highlighted words. Let's do it again. Ready? You're a grand old flag. You're a high-flying flag. And forever in peace may you wave. You're the emblem of the land I love, the home of the free and the brave. Every heart beats true 'neath the red, white, and blue, where there's never a boast or brag. But should old acquaintance be forgot, keep your eye on the grand old flag. It is very hard not to start singing. Let's go ahead and say Dr. Boone's words, each one twice. Project these sounds in front of you. Speak out. Here we go. Gula ganga ga. Gula ganga ga. Next one. Kukamanguka. Kukamanguka. Ready? Gangla. Gangla. And the next one. Kukla. Kukla. Nice job. Okay, take a sip of water. I'm going to answer these questions that came in. All right, 2 questions had to do with the jaw. One of them says, I'm reading these questions. My jaw has developed tremors. It stiffens at times and affects my pronunciation. I don't know if it's caused by the Parkinson's. Do you have exercises for the jaw? So for this, I would say you want to talk to your movement disorders specialist, your neurologist, about the medications. When you're describing things to your doctors, make sure you're being very, very specific. Not just saying, I want you to explain it like you did here, where you said, you don't want to just say, I notice I have tremors in my jaw. You want to say it's affecting my pronunciation. So you might need a medication adjustment. As far as exercises, when you're speaking out, you're using the jaw. You don't need other exercises. You just want to make sure that you're doing the speak out exercises with enough intent. But I would say combination, talk to the neurologist. Maybe the medications need to be adjusted. Maybe those tremors can be improved with the medication, and then speak with intent. The other question that came in, also about the jaw, said, what I have trouble with is coming close to my pill time. My jaw locks up and my mouth is hard to open. It usually lasts for about an hour. What would you suggest for this? Again, this is a neurologist question, perhaps a medication problem. And again, when you describe to your neurologist what's happening, we don't want to just say it locks up, but, be very specific. It locks up for an hour. I'm not able to talk. I'm not able to eat. It really is paralyzing at that point. Be very specific. And on that note, I am going to mention when you talk to your neurologist about any problem, be as specific as you can. For example, some people might say, well, I notice I'm falling more. Well, you want to be very specific so that you really get the doctor's attention and they really understand how it's interfering with your activities of daily living, okay, your daily life. I fell 11 times yesterday. One time I hit my head on the shower. You want to be very, very specific and really demonstrate how big of a problem it is and how it's affecting your daily life. The last question is this. It says, does using a straw help prevent aspiration? So aspiration is when food or liquid saliva goes down the wrong way towards your lungs. We don't want you to aspirate, but aspiration pneumonia is a very serious problem for people. But for a straw, I will tell you that it's different for everybody. For some people, when they use a straw, it directs the liquids in and they feel like they swallow better. They have more control. Instead of you take a sip and maybe if you take a sip from your cup and it just spills out, or you don't have as much control over the liquid. So for some people, using a straw that would direct the liquid, okay, that helps. But for other people, if you sip out of a straw, you cannot maybe have as much control, and that thin liquid could go down your throat faster, causing you to aspirate. But it's different for everybody. And I want to show you some pictures of normal swallowing. So stay with me. Let me show you real quick because I want you to see what this looks like. If you are having any swallowing difficulty at all, you want to tell your speech language pathologist. I don't want anybody doing these exercises, just these exercises, if you're having a swallowing problem or a speech problem. Talk to your speech pathologist. They might recommend that you have a modified barium swallow study. That is a video, like an x-ray video of your swallowing. Here we are looking, this is the side view of a person. This is the chin, okay? And over here are the vocal folds. Now, food is not supposed to go down this way, okay? It's not supposed to go down here. It's supposed to go down the esophagus. This is a modified barium swallow study that shows a normal swallow. I want you to see how quick a normal swallow should be. You're going to see, they're going to put barium in the mouth. All right, oh, there it was. Did you see it go down? Is your swallow that fast? Watch, there it goes again. And you notice it's going down the back, okay, the esophagus. It's not supposed to come near the front. Do you see how quick that normal swallow is? Now, they're chewing something up. Look how big the movements are of the mouth, the jaw. That is normal, okay? People with Parkinson's can have small movements of the mouth, which makes it hard to move the food from the front of the mouth to the back of the mouth. Let's watch that again. They're chewing. So when we're doing the speak out exercises, you're exaggerating. You're trying to strengthen. Do you see also how the larynx over here is rising, going up and down with the big movements? Okay? All right. Now, I want to show you now a video of aspiration, and we'll end the session after this. Okay, now keep in mind, food is supposed to go down the esophagus. It's not supposed to go down near the vocal folds towards the lungs. Watch this. Again, this is the jaw right here. All right, did you see? I'm going to back it up. When that person swallowed, the bolus, or we say kind of the ball, it didn't all go down together. Let me back it up again. Okay, watch. some of it hung out in the front, okay? It's not supposed to go in the front at all. And you see this person is swallowing a few times, probably because they feel it. So anything that is this black, oh, they're starting to cough. Do you see that? They felt it try to go down wrong. Now, right there. Now there's this little pocket here, and it can be very dangerous. They're trying to cough and clear it out of there. Okay. Keep watching. There is a little trace amount, dark spot in the front, and that's aspiration. Let me see, I think it might show it. There's a pocket here in the throat also. So you see that food hanging out in that pocket, and if the pocket fills up, then that puts somebody at risk for swallowing. Let me go back. The main thing I want to show you is that if you're having any swallowing difficulty, you need an evaluation by a speech-language pathologist. They might recommend that you have this test. It's called a modified barium swallow study. The only way to know what's really happening with the swallow is to do that type of X-ray video. We can't see in your throat, so having that test is the only way. And I am very much against making recommendations, swallowing recommendations, when I haven't seen what's really happening. Did you know that a swallow evaluation, I'm talking about if I were to give you food and ask you to swallow it, not on the video, if I just sat next to you and I said, go ahead and eat and drink, and I'm going to try to figure out what's happening with your swallowing. Did you know that that type of swallow evaluation has a 40% error rate? A 40% error rate. So I don't want to make recommendations based on just watching you. We need to have that modified barium swallow. But one last thing, you want to have that study from somebody who is very experienced in it. You want someone that's not going to be shy, if somebody aspirates, you don't want them to, okay, this study is over. You want them to figure out not only are you aspirating, but what can you do to improve the swallowing? If you were to take smaller bites, smaller sips, would the food and liquid go down the wrong way? If you were to use a straw, would that be better for you? The purpose of a modified barium swallow study is not just to see is somebody aspirating. It's to be able to make recommendations so that you can eat and drink in a safer way. And then if you're having trouble, you should do specific swallowing therapy in addition to your speak out exercises. Okay. Thank you for joining me today, and also thank you to everyone who has already made your donation. Please visit our donate page. You will see examples of what our services cost. For example, these online sessions actually cost Parkinson Voice Project $300 every time we do one. That includes my time, Lisa's time to prepare, answering the questions, managing that inbox, Beth or Lena who are monitoring the chat, all of that put together. It costs money, so we appreciate you paying it forward in June.